Hello everyone, I'm Liam, and welcome to the Cine Review Hub channel. Today we are going to take a look at the latest news and buzz from the Venice Film Festival, which was the most important cinematic event of the past week. Over the past week, the films participating in the festival have been screened one by one for critics. The most important one was the film Bugonia, the new work by Yorgos Lanthimos, starring Emma Stone. It was screened for critics and highly praised. It received a 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 76 on Metacritic. Once again, the standing ovations at the festivals began, and the film was applauded for 6 minutes. The film also had a little controversy. Willem Dafoe, when he saw Emma Stone, greeted and kissed her using the tone of the film Poor Things. It caused a bit of a buzz, and he said, "Hello, my darling." You might remember he played her father in Poor Things. Bugonia is set to be released very soon, on October 31st. Another film that premiered and garnered a lot of attention was The Smashing Machine, which is Dwayne Johnson's newest film. The very interesting thing was that it received a 15-minute standing ovation, which brought tears to Dwayne Johnson's eyes. We are no longer calling him The Rock because a picture of him went viral on the internet showing a significant amount of weight loss. Why did this happen? If you recall, the same thing happened to Dave Bautista a few months ago. As these veteran athletes get older, they can no longer maintain such a strong physique, so they reduce their weight to start a new chapter in acting and accept dramatic roles. Dwayne Johnson himself said in his interview that he will be accepting more dramatic roles from now on and that he no longer wants to play action or martial arts roles. He said he does not want to star in box office-driven films anymore and wants to venture into a new artistic direction, especially because he is going to star in another new film with Benny Safdie, the same director of The Smashing Machine, and the title of the film is Lizard Music. Johnson said he lost 27 kilograms for this film. His weight was 136 kilograms and is now 109 kilograms. The story of the film is quite imaginative. It is about a little boy's room where he accidentally meets a group of lizards who play music. When they perform their songs correctly, they can open a hidden door to an imaginary world. In that imaginary world, there is a man called Chicken Man, and Dwayne Johnson is set to play this role. The Smashing Machine was so praised by critics that they even said it might be an Oscar contender. It received a 92% score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 79 on Metacritic. Emily Blunt is his co-star in the film, and Johnson plays a mixed martial arts fighter. The film is a production of A24, and it has a very good director, the same person you might have seen the film Uncut Gems from previously. Another thing about this film that drew media attention was Benny Safdie himself. A picture of him went viral from 2009 when he was promoting the film Daddy Longlegs, one of the lowest level jobs you can do in cinema. And now, in 2025, he is on the red carpet of the Venice Film Festival. This director has also collaborated with Christopher Nolan. Another film that premiered at the Venice Film Festival and received a lot of attention was Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's new film. This film received a 12-minute standing ovation after its premiere. It scored 83% on Rotten Tomatoes and 75 on Metacritic. The film has excellent actors like Oscar Isaac and Christoph Waltz. Jacob Elordi is also in the film. The story is clearly about Frankenstein's monster, who is after killing Dr. Frankenstein, his creator. This film is also coming out very soon, on October 17th. The interesting point is that it is a Netflix production, and 2 weeks after its theatrical release, it will be available on Netflix, meaning we can watch it on November 7th. They are screening it in cinemas so that it can participate in festivals. Jacob Elordi received a lot of media attention, especially because of his great height. When he stood next to Oscar Isaac, even though Oscar Isaac is not short, being 1 meter 70-something tall, Jacob Elordi was still a full head taller than him, as he is nearly 2 meters tall. Jacob Elordi is currently at a stage in his artistic career where if he chooses good films to act in, he can have a very bright future. He chose this film very well. Another film of his, also from Netflix, is going to be released soon, and its trailer was released last week. It was Wuthering Heights, an adaptation of a very famous novel. Emerald Fennell, who also directed the film Saltburn before, directed this film. The film already has a lot of controversies because they changed the black character of the novel to a white man. But apparently, Jacob Elordi did not do a good job in choosing this role, as it currently has negative feedback in test screenings. Now we have to wait and see what happens when it is released, and it can definitely have a big impact on this actor's future. This film is scheduled to be released on February 13th. Another film that received a lot of attention was also a Netflix production, the film A House of Dynamite. Why did it get attention? Both the photos of Rebecca Ferguson on the red carpet went viral, especially one where Rebecca Ferguson kisses Idris Elba's hand, and her photo went viral on the internet. And also because Rebecca Ferguson kept changing her clothes, appearing in front of the photographers with a new outfit every half hour, and her photos blew up on the internet every time. Another reason why this film received attention is that its director is Kathryn Bigelow, who previously won an Oscar for the film The Hurt Locker. Do you remember she competed with the film Avatar in 2008 and managed to defeat Avatar? Now, this new film she has made is interesting. It is a thriller and horror. It tells the story of White House officials when they hear that a missile has been fired toward America from an unknown location. It is also unknown who fired it and what kind of warhead it has, and they have to decide what they want to do. In her post-screening remarks, Kathryn Bigelow called for nuclear disarmament of all countries and said, "We are living in a dynamite house," which was the very reason she named her film this. Another film that premiered at the festival was Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. This is Jim Jarmusch's new film. This director generally has a very philosophical style, and not everyone can watch and tolerate his films. When it premiered, it received a 5-minute standing ovation. It scored 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 83 on Metacritic. The film tells the story of siblings who return to their parents' house after years of being apart, a house that was full of humiliation and insults. This film is also scheduled to be released on December 24th. Another highly anticipated film that premiered, and many are waiting to see, was the Korean film No Other Choice. After its premiere, this film broke the record for the most applauded Korean film at this festival, a record that was held by the film Parasite, and it received a 9-minute standing ovation.
The important point is that the director of this film is Park Chan-wook, the same person whose films Old Boy or The Handmaiden you might have seen before. Just a few weeks ago, we reported that he was expelled from the Writers Guild because he ignored the writers' strike and wrote his screenplay. They kicked him out. Now he is present at this festival to find a distributor for his film, which he will certainly succeed in because it is a very good film. The film's story is about a man who has been looking for a dream job for years, but each time he is rejected during the selection process for some reason. This man finally decides to find his rivals one by one and kill them. The film's actor is the same person who played the frontman in Squid Game. When it premiered, it scored 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and 86 on Metacritic. The film is scheduled to be released in late 2025, probably in December and January. There were also 2 films that were embarrassed and received very poor scores after they premiered. One of them is Luca Guadagnino's new film, the same person whose films Challengers or Call Me By Your Name you might have seen before. The title of his new film is After the Hunt. Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield are the stars of this film. After the premiere, it received a 6-minute standing ovation, but it is very interesting that the same critics who applauded it for 6 minutes, when they went to score it, gave it a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 54 on Metacritic. The film's story is about a university professor who has a relationship with his student, and when the relationship is exposed, his reputation is ruined. Before the film's premiere, Andrew Garfield attracted a lot of attention from photographers when he was on the red carpet, especially because he attended the red carpet with his girlfriend, Monica Barbero. Another thing that attracted the audience's attention was Andrew Garfield's choice of this film. Frankenstein was previously offered to Andrew Garfield, but the actor rejected the role and accepted Luca Guadagnino's film instead. Now this film has a score of 46 on Rotten Tomatoes, and the other film, where Jacob Elordi replaced Andrew Garfield, received a very good score. When these films fail at festivals, the chances of them getting a good distributor decrease, and they are very likely to fail at the box office too. So, in a way, this film can be considered a box office failure from now on. Another film that was embarrassed after its premiere was The Wizard of Kremlin, starring Jude Law. As you could tell from the images, this film is going to portray the life of Vladimir Putin when he was a KGB agent and then suddenly became the president of Russia. What promises he made when he became president, what he did after he came to power, and so on. The film received a 10-minute standing ovation after its premiere. But the interesting part is that the same critics, when they went to vote, gave it a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 54% on Metacritic. And its scores are very poor. But the most controversial film of the festival, which broke the record for the longest applause, was The Voice of Hind Rajab. The film is entirely political, telling the story of a 5-year-old girl from Gaza whose life falls apart after the Israeli attack. After its premiere, this film received a 23-minute standing ovation. Critics highly praised the film. Among those who spoke highly of the film were Joaquin Phoenix and his wife Rooney Mara, who attended the red carpet to support the film even though they are not acting in it, and they wore the Palestinian flag pin on their chests. They also displayed the Palestinian flag inside the screening hall, and finally, the hall staff turned off the lights and told them to leave, saying 23 minutes had passed. The Venice Film Festival also had a few minor controversies. One of them involved Kevin Spacey, who attended the festival to introduce his new science fiction film. Kevin Spacey is both the director of this film and acts in it himself. Its trailer was also released to critics. The film cost $10 million, and he has not yet been able to find a distributor for it. Another interesting controversy was related to the premiere of the film In the Hand of Dante, which truly had some bad luck. It was leaked on the internet. You can download and watch it right now. Nevertheless, they attended the festival in hopes of finding a distributor for it, although it is almost impossible. Among the interesting highlights was Jason Momoa, who, despite his physique and imposing figure, attended the red carpet in a pink suit, sandals, and pink nail polish. There were also some practical jokes at the event. When Jason Momoa was walking past Oscar Isaac, he made one of his signature playful gestures towards Oscar Isaac. This video went viral on social media, receiving millions of views. In the Hand of Dante had another controversy. Gal Gadot also stars in this film, but pro-Palestinian protesters approached the festival by boat and were constantly present there day and night. Also, 1,500 filmmakers had sent a signed letter requesting that Gal Gadot be expelled from the festival for supporting Israel. The festival did not do this, but Gal Gadot herself decided not to attend the festival due to the controversies. Even though she was in Italy, she still backed down and did not appear on the red carpet. Another controversy that gained attention on the internet was Mads Mikkelsen along with his wife Hannah Jakobsen. What drew attention was the couple's long relationship. They started their relationship in 1987 and later got married, and now they have been living together for 38 years. The interesting thing is that Mads Mikkelsen is 5 years younger. He is 59 years old, and his wife is 64. Old photos of the couple attending the Venice Film Festival 30 years ago went viral on the internet. Another controversy was related to Seth Rogen's presence at the festival. Although this actor does not have any film to premiere, he attended the red carpet with a camera because he is looking for material for the second season of his series, Studio Sold Studio. This series is about the behind-the-scenes of films, what happens in the world of cinema, and it has been renewed for a second season, so Seth Rogen was looking for material there. Another point that received attention on the internet was the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement Award for Kim Novak. This lady can be called living history. She is 92 years old, and you might not believe it, but she starred in Alfred Hitchcock's film Vertigo. She starred in her first film almost 70 years ago, and she has been retired from acting for more than 30 years now. When she went to receive her award, she said something interesting. She said she wanted to thank her mother for saying a sentence that gave meaning to her whole life. She told her, "You are the captain of your own ship," and she advised all young people to say this sentence to themselves in front of the mirror in their lives. At the closing ceremony, there were some special guests who were present despite not having films at the festival, such as Sydney Sweeney and Emma Watson. When the ceremony started, many expected Emma Stone to win the Best Actress award, especially because she had shaved her head for the film Bugonia, and there was also an expectation that Dwayne Johnson would win the Best Actor award. But when the winners were announced, Xin Jilei, a Chinese actress, won the Best Actress award for the film The Sun Rises for All of Us. Similarly, Tony Servillo, an Italian actor, won the Best Actor award for his role in the film Le Crate. Benny Safdie, the director of the film in which Dwayne Johnson starred, also won the Best Director award. And that controversial film about Gaza, which received a 23-minute standing ovation and displayed the Palestinian flag, also won the jury grand prize. The film's name is The Voice of Hind Rajab, and when its director went to receive his award, he dedicated his award to the Palestine Red Crescent Society, and said in his speech that his award is the voice of Gaza, and we will continue our work until justice is established. The Golden Lion of this festival went to Jim Jarmusch for the film Father, Mother, Sister, Brother, which stars Cate Blanchett. This film is about siblings who return to their parents' house after a long time. The defense of Gaza also continued, and both Jim Jarmusch and Benny Safdie expressed solidarity with the people of Gaza when they went to receive their awards. Overall, this year's Venice Film Festival strongly supported Gaza. Other highlights of the Venice Film Festival included Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, whose tattoos immediately caught the attention of all the media when she first arrived on the red carpet. Michael Jackson's daughter has more than 80 tattoos on her body. She got some new tattoos. For example, the tattoos you are seeing here are related to Buddhism and the energy of each point on the body, and these designs are all inspired by Eastern spiritual practices. But after the media's attention shifted from her tattoos, they started asking her about the Michael Jackson biopic, and Paris Jackson said that the film is full of distortions. She said they did not ask her any questions when they were writing the screenplay, and they included a lot of false information about her father that could be controversial and help their film's sales. She added that she pointed out a lot of their mistakes, but they did not listen to her and did not make any changes to the screenplay. But let's move on to the toxic news of the week. Zoe Kravitz, whom you probably know for playing Catwoman in The Batman, gave a new interview and said something very strange. She said Friends is a weak series that does not even have one funny line. So far it is okay. After all, comedy is a matter of taste. Now the interesting part comes. She said that the series is not interesting at all because it has a lot of homophobic jokes, and that it is time for this series to be boycotted, removed from platforms, and for us to forget about it and move past it, which has led to many Friends fans attacking this actress on social media. Well, friends, that was this week's video. I hope you found it interesting. If you liked the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Until the next video, goodbye.